What is up, guys? My name is Cloud, and in this video I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make one of my most favorite builds of all time. Okay, so it's very simple, very easy for beginners, intermediate, and advanced builders to make. Advanced builders, this is going to be a piece of cake for you guys, but you guys want cloud chasing builds, guys. Okay, so I'm showing you guys, this is the build I'm going to be doing. It's a dual parallel 8 wrapped around a 3/32 drill bit, ohming off to roughly 0.1 ohms, 0.12 ohms, depending on the ohm reader that you have, how accurate it is. But very easy for dense vapor production. You want dense milky vapor production. This 8 wrap is really good on variable wattage box mods. I've tried it a lot on unregulated devices, but it just works better on variable wattage devices. So if you guys have a device that it is, between 70 to 150 watts, then it's going to be really nice. I'm running this build currently on my Kennedy V1 comp on my DNA 200 box mod. I've never had to run it 150 watts. This build is really good for cloud chasing at around 80 to 95, almost 100 watts. So it's very nice, and it conserves a pretty decent amount of power. So you don't need to push, extreme wattages to get really big clouds. This all really depends on your lung capacity and how easy you guys can inhale and exhale the vapor. So guys, what you're going to need for this build is 24 gauge wire. I happen to be using Gplat wire, but you guys can use any wire you want, basically, along the lines of hot wires, Gplat, anarchist wire, nichrome, canthol, stuff like that. I would not use this build with stainless steel, titanium, and nickel wire. Do not use that. Do not use the wire at all. Use canthol, nichrome, anarchist wire, Gplat hot wires, etc. Competition wire is acceptable as well. So you're gonna want to cut about 2 feet of this, fold in half, and you're about to get a foot. So pinch your wires as closely together. I'll do a zoom up for you guys. I already pre-pinched it, but you want to pinch your wires together as closely as possible, and then get a nice parallel right there along the whole line. If it splays at the end, it's no worries at all, because once you start wrapping, the beginning and the center is the most important. You want to get as close as possible, and once you start wrapping, then you can fine tune it and get them as tight as possible. It's okay. Do not worry about it if they splay at the end and they're not very correct. You can always fix it where you're wrapping it. So you need your wire, you need a pair of needle nose pliers, you need some tweezers. I have these that Coil Masters gave to me in their kit. I believe it's Delrin or something like that. I'm not quite sure. Whatever. It broke. I was squeezing too hard and it just snapped on me. Anyway, you're also gonna need a Phillips screwdriver, depending on your RDA. If it's a Allen head, or it's a Phillips, whatever may have you. I have a Phillips heads in here, so I'm going to use a Phillips screwdriver to tighten down my leads. I need a drill bit or maybe a Coil Masters jig to wrap my coils with. I'm going to be using the Coil Masters twisty thing. I don't know. It's hard to figure out exactly what it is. But traditionally what you do is you stick a wire in here and then you twist it, and then it pre-wraps your coils, perfectly. I'm not going to be doing that though. On the dual parallel, I'm going to hold it with my left thumb with the wire and just wrap it traditionally like a drill bit or a screwdriver. So, and then you're gonna need scissors, doesn't matter which one, something to cut the cotton once you feed it. And the cotton now, guys, what I'm gonna be using is one of my favorite cottons, just because there's no cotton flavor. It's super absorbent, lasts a lot longer than other cottons I've dealt with, and that is Kendo vape cotton right here. This is the gold edition. I'll give you guys a link to the bottom of the video where you guys can purchase this stuff. It's actually not that expensive. They give you quite a bit of cotton in this package to last you a long time if you conserve your cotton and you don't over cotton your builds. So, the original Kendo vape cotton that you normally see me use is just a big wad of Japanese cotton inside the pack. The eco version is a little smaller of a pack to take, on to-go trips and stuff. And the gold edition is like kind of like rope. It's strands. I'll show you guys in the build video what I mean by these strands. It's a lot easier to build with, and the fibers all run one way. So when you soak up that juice, it gets soaks up super quick, and you just last a lot longer. I do use Kendo. I mean, I use cotton bacon bits, but cotton bacon bits, I don't know what. I feel like Kendo vape cotton is better than cotton bacon bits just because the fact that within 1 to 2 days I'm already getting burnt centers inside, and with Kendo it lasts 2 to 3 weeks before I can change my cotton again. Now normally what I do with Kendo, even though it lasts 2 weeks on one build, and I run hot builds, guys. I run super sub on builds. The Kendo vape cotton lasts 2 weeks, but normally I re-wick it every week. That's just me with Kendo. With cotton bacon bits, I have to re-wick like once every day or two. It doesn't really last as long as Kendo does. But that's my opinion, guys. You all have your own experiences with cotton bacon and Kendo vape. My experience with Kendo is just amazing, so I recommend you guys go get it as well. Anyway, so, and also Coil Master sent me this doodad right here. This doodad. This is a juice capsule. Basically what you do is it has at the top, you unscrew it, and it has a little needle point, and it's a pump action. So right now it's in its locked formation. Locked formation is right here, and you can't pump any juice at all. But then once you unlock right there, then when you pump, juice comes out. So it keeps your juice really fresh, longer lasting. It doesn't allow the juice to steep while in there because of the O-rings, and there's no oxygen getting inside there and stuff. It's basically like a syringe. So it keeps it very awesome, because if I have my juice in bottles, it steeps over time. And if I have it in here, I've noticed that it does not steep at all. It keeps the flavor nice and gorgeous, and that's what I want. So, guys, I'm going to give you guys a close zoom up of what my old build was. I'm going to be replicating the same exact build. So by the end of this video, you should have something that looks similar to this, but cleaner. Right there. So this is the 8-wrap 24 gauge dual parallel. This is what you should end up with. It fits in most RDAs, so not a worries. Mine's a bottom airflow, So it's the Kennedy, so it's bottom airflow. So it works really well with this, and I really get good vapor production. It's good stuff, guys. Okay, so I'm going to go into the uppy closey of the build and get you guys started with this awesome build. See you guys later. Alright guys, so we're going to be doing 8 wraps. So the trick what I do is I'm right-handed, so I have my left thumb on the device, which is my Coil Master's, kind of like a drill bit. We'll keep it like that. Hold it right there, and then begin my wrap. First wrap needs to be the tightest, and then kind of follow right after that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Once I'm done, that's how it should look. I'll do a zoom up real quick of that. nice and clean, and then snip. So take my forgot the tool, guys. You need a what are these, like the wire cutters? Yeah, can't think today. And then snip one lead longer than the other. So here's your first lead. I like to keep that the same, and then just clip short on the other one. And now you have this. And the first coil is done. Put that to the side, and then start on your second. So the second one, what I like to do is just get them as close as possible. The two leads right here, try to get them as close as possible together without crossing. Hold with your thumb, and I don't like to twist or anything, just keep them how they are. And do the same thing like you did before. Hold them still with your left thumb, and begin wrapping. 1, 2. So the same thing, we're going to do 8. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Get it nice and perfect. Kind of mold it, you know. And then snip the shortest lead again. Same thing like you did before. And now what you have is your second coil. Pretty easy, guys. So now that you have your 2 coils already made, I'm going to take out your RDA. I took out the coils already and cleaned it. And I like to stick in what I use to wrap the coils with, and have my longest lead on the outside negative. So how you guys can tell the difference if you guys are brand new to this is, for the most part, most RDAs, if it's a 3-post setup, you have your center, which is your positive, and then you have your 2 outsides, which are your negative leads, your lead holes. So what you want to do, what I like to do, is take my longest lead right here and stick it into the outside edge, that first negative, and then have my shortest lead in my center. And we're going to leave a little bit of a gap right here. We're going to leave a little bit of a gap. I don't know if you guys can see this at all. I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap right here, so then we can allow to, actually let's go a little bit closer, right there. So we can allow it to center the coils. I want to center the coils above the airflow. So we're going to stop it right there. So I'm going to hold it down with one finger, one thumb, yes. And take my Phillips screwdriver and tighten down my negative lead. Also, guys, quick tip. When you're working on your mod and your build device, it's always nice to take out your batteries. Take out your batteries, because just in case, who knows, you might tap the fire switch and you might burn your finger or create a hot lead, you know, or a hot leg, and then burn your coils that you just spent, you know, amount of time on. So always take out your batteries just for safety reasons. So now that I have this tightened down, my negative, I'm going to take my wire cutters and snip the negative. And I'm going to snip the positive as well. Now flip it around, and I'm going to do my other coil. And then cut my negative and positive again. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to straighten out my coils so I can push them over. So I like to take my needle nose pliers, grab both sides, and wiggle slowly. And that gets them right over my airflow. Then take my drill bit again. And straighten them out again. Do the step twice just to make sure that they're both exactly even with each other. And trying to straighten them up as best as possible. It's your own build, so you don't have to get too, anal about it. But if it's all depending on what you want. So then make sure that both are level with each other. I'm gonna get them as level as possible and then cut to the next video. Alright guys, now that I have them centered and how I want them, I'm going to pulse fire them. So I put my batteries back in my mod, and I'm going to have it at a low wattage setting. I'm going to have it at around 60 watts just to pulse fire it. I don't want to crank up a lot of power. The less power the better when you're just starting a fresh build. And I'm just going to pulse fire it. Let them heat up slowly. And then take my tweezers and pinch together. And then with my drill bit, or anything I really have, it doesn't matter. But with anything, I can take this and strum the coils, and that gets most of the hot spots out. Now I'm going to crank up the power a little bit more, and I'm going to go to 80 watts. And that's heating up nice. There we go. So now my build's heating up nice. I'm going to wait for it to cool down. But before I'm going to wait for it to cool down, I'm going to do this. Okay, so we got this thing right here. What the hell is this thing? What is this thing? So this is the a juice capsule that Coil Master sent to me. And basically what it is you have this top part right here. Put this to the side, wait for it to cool down. And this part is where you fill your juice of choice, right? So right now what I have inside is Godfather's. It's called Electric Dew by Godfather. It's a max VG 3 milligram e-juice. Really nice. Tastes exactly like Mountain Dew. So I want to fill that, and I want to keep it fresh as possible. I don't want to keep it in the bottle because the bottle steeps over time. There's always air getting inside the bottle somehow. I want to be airtight. So I fill the juice of choice with this. Put the cap on, tighten that down. It has O-rings inside, so it keeps everything nice and airtight. And then I have this lock ring at the bottom. Right now I can't put any juice out at all, but I twist it, and now I can push it and the juice can come out. So I'm gonna wait for this to cool down. I think, yep, it's cooled down now. So this is my wicking method with the Kennedys without every bottom airflow RDA. Actually, most RDAs in general, this is my wicking technique. So I'm gonna open up the package, get some cotton out and stuff. If I can even get the package open with my slippery hands. So guys, this is what I meant by how they package it. So they package it in this rope fashion right here. So all you have to do is just, I like to take about, a thumb's distance of cotton, about yay much right there, and that's enough for 2 coils. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to split it down the center and then have one side for one coil, one side for the other. That's all you need basically. You don't need any more than that. Everything else is back in the sack. So what I'm going to do is now I have this little piece of cotton, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it down by the center and then just rip it in half. So now I have 2 pieces, and I'm just going to slowly spin both sides so it's easy to wick. That's a good gauge on how much cotton I need basically. So you don't want too much. So what I'm going to do is just take off a hair less. Because if you have too much cotton and it's too tight in those coils, it's going to choke the crap out of your coils, and they're not going to perform the way you want it to. So that's about right there. That's perfect for that one. And then this one, gonna pull the excess out of the edges, get it nice and clean. And then that's it for that one. Perfect. So now I have 2 pieces of cotton. Boom, boom. Get my device out and start wicking. So what I like to do first is this. I like to take my juice and slowly lightly juice up my coils. Just have enough juice where it makes everything look nice and shiny and juicy. That's what I want. And then take my cotton and twist it like you're rolling a blunt. Curl it a little bit, just make a point, something like this. And then stick it in the first side. And go back and forth, a back and forth motion. And that's it for the first one. Flip it. Get the second one going. And that's it. So now I got 2 pieces of cotton inside, and you're thinking, killer, way too much cotton for this tiny little RDA. Well, that's because I'm going to snip it. So I got my scissors, and what I'm going to do is this. So you see the end of your RDA. So you want to look at the end of your RDA. What's the given point right here? See the end, the edges of that RDA right there, and right there. You want to go a little bit past that and then cut the cotton. You don't want to go any farther than that because that's too much cotton. So take our scissors and cut around just right about here. And then the other side. And that's it. That's all the cotton you need on this, guys. That's it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my baby scissors because they're easy. And I'm going to tuck inside those tiny pockets that the Kennedy has. If your RDA does not have pockets, pretty simple. It should be right to the left and right of your coils where they end. That's where you want to drop the cotton into, right into that juice well. I don't like to tuck my cotton at all underneath my coils. I want to keep a space for the airflow. Don't pack it too tight. Leave a gap. Make sure you have a gap on both sides, and then you should have something like this going on. See that gap? I can see that my center post right there underneath those coils. Flip it around. Right there. That's what you want, guys. That's the secret right there. I'm showing you the secret. Okay, so after that, you're gonna take your juice and my capsule. Look how easy this shit is. So it's unlocked, and I just pump it like I'm squeezing a syringe, and it comes out nice and clean. Fill my bottom of my juice well, so then the cotton can just soak up a lot quicker. Get the sides a little bit going on, just to speed up the process a little bit. And I'm going to wait for it to soak up a little bit. So guys, that's basically it though. That is the dual parallel 8 wrap 24 gauge Gplat build wrapped around a 3/32 drill bit. It's going to ohm off to the same thing it ohmed off last time, around there. It's going to be either 0.1 or 0.11 around there. But this is a really good build for clouds, really thick for tricks if you want to do tricks. Just overall, a lot of vapor protection from this build. It's a very simple build to do, especially if you're a beginner and you're just not getting into building and you want to know what's the best build for, different, if you want to be a cloud chaser, you want to be a trickster. This is a really good build to start out with. And it's really good on variable wattage devices, especially if you're only running it at low wattages, guys. You don't even have to push this thing to a crazy 200 watts. Okay, you don't need to go all crazy with it. You can stay at 70 or 80 watts and still be you have really decent cloud protection. So it's almost completely soaked up. That Kendo cotton is really working right now. And that's it right there. It's soaked up. So I'm gonna do a little test fire. Right now, I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna run it at 80 watts flat. Actually, we'll do 75. We'll do 75. Yeah, 75 sounds good. Let's do 75. Let's see how that is. And let's go bump up to 85 watts. And that's what we want right there. Perfect. It's a lot of vapor. It doesn't look like it a lot. It doesn't look a massive amount right now, but once you put that cap on and you take a hit, it's going to be a lot. Trust me. Alright guys, we're going to go out of view and I'm going to show you guys the exact cloud protection. I'm going to give you guys a few clouds here and there and then finish up this tutorial, guys. Alright, peace out. Guys, no joke, when I was setting up the camera again for a different angle, the Kendo vape con soaked up all the juice in the juice well, the entire thing, within like 35 seconds. And now it's completely wicked up, all juiced up, and I just had to drip a little tiny bit more on the top just because I like to do that, and now it's good to go. So this Kendo vape con is really, really good for absorption, longer lasting, and no cotton flavor at all. It's really perfect for that. That's why I highly recommend this stuff, guys. So this is 85 watts, and I'm gonna vape it right now. Watch this. Really dense stuff just for 85 watts. So if I push this thing to, let's do 100 watts, okay? This is 100 watts. So typically on my other builds that I do, which is like a 6 wrap 20 gauge, you know, it's a slower wrap up time, I'd have to push a lot of wattage to get this to ramp up really quick. Since it's 24 gauge, it's mimicking a quad coil build, and it is very quick on ramp up time for lower wattage settings, which is perfect for a lot of devices that you guys have, because not a lot of people have, you know, 200 watt 400 watt box mods or series box mods available. So it's really cool to, you know, have a build that is versatile for a lot of different mods. This works well for unregulated mods as well. You know, I did an 8 wrap for this device just because it ohms off to a point, what is it? Yeah, it's a 0.1 just like before. And juice this up one more time real quick just to make sure I don't want to get a, I'm not going to get a dry hit. The thing soaked up a shit ton of juice, but I just want to make sure. Here's 100 watts, guys. A lot of vapor production from this build, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. I hope it helped you guys out, you know, with a build that you guys like a lot. I run this build a lot for cloud comps. When I used to do a lot of cloud comps, I would either run 2 different builds. I would do a 6 wrap 22 gauge or a 8 wrap 24 gauge parallel, depending on the wire that they gave me at the cloud comp and, you know, the predicament of it. But it's really good if you guys do push method of cloud production or just the standard, you know, exhale method. It's really good, has solid production, really good quality build, lasts a long time also. So the only thing I gotta say about these coils is this: when you're pinching and squeezing and you're pulling over, these parallels, since this 24 gauge, is going to want to collapse on itself on the edges. So what really helps me out is when I pinch and squeeze, I do really small movements, and then I take my drill bit of choice or whatever, or screwdriver, whatever you want to wrap your coils with, and then I push and I straighten out, and then I squeeze again and then straighten out and straighten, and just do quick, you know, small movements, and then that'll get them perfectly centered right above your airflow. So it's a really easy build to do. It just takes a little bit of time for beginners. I know for you advanced guys it's going to be an easy build, but this is a really good beginners cloud chasing build that works well on variable wattage devices. I would highly recommend this on variable wattage devices. Like I said before, you can use this on series box mods and unregulated devices such as 2 mods. It works really well, really good dense vapor production, and I happen to be running on my DNA 200 by Wismec, and it's performing stunning well. Alright guys, I'm gonna see you guys later. I'm done with this video. Peace out, vape on, and be safe. Hope this build works well for you like it did for me. See you guys later. Peace out, guys.